Well, hey, hopefully we're back there. I had to switch to the second phone there. I'll use this phone more as we head into the daylight hours. It's because we're in the 6 months of darkness that I use the other phone, which is my older phone. The battery's not as strong here. If you're just joining, we're in Chicago, we're on Michigan Avenue. I was streaming on the other phone, but since it's 6 degrees, it's really cold, and we were walking for an hour here. I'm heading to work here on a Tuesday morning. We got January the 20th, 2026. We're at the Starbucks here in Michigan Avenue. And I just want to see if the steam's coming off the river here. Let me turn on the cameras. So if you're watching, Ernie, thanks for coming. I had to switch phones. Yeah, the battery, it drained the battery on my other phone there. You know what that's like in this cold weather. So we'll see if the steam's coming off the river here. I was streaming on a different YouTube, and you can watch that. And now we're on the second one here. So let's see if people join in there. Yeah, you're close. Yeah, well, I'll see if you're on the bridge there. Yeah, we work close to each other there, which, yeah, you're on Wacker, I'm on Michigan Avenue there. My mustache is all covered with ice, so, you know, my beard's going to be all messed up looking, but, and I'm not in this to win a beauty contest, you know what it's like. But hey, thanks, Ernie, everybody else here. Check out Ernesto, Chicago Nuggies. Hey, I saw Demishi. Demishi was streaming, you know, Demishi, he's our friend from Germany in the Bavarian Alps. He was streaming again. It looked like it was warmer in Germany than it is here. That was yesterday. But hey, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago, Michigan Avenue, 6 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 to 20 Celsius. Almost down to the river. We'll see if there's any steam coming. There was more steam yesterday. Ernie got it really good. Thanks for catching that. And Chris, thanks for coming back here. Yeah, we're back. Still going here. We just switched to the other phone. So here we're at Ontario, Michigan. And we should be able to go here. Hey, one golden Nubian. Thanks for coming back there, Margie. Yeah. The red pill. Yeah, the red pill incels. Sometimes it's good to, you know, I've done that before. Sometimes it's good for me to stop and start another live, because it clears off a lot of the trolls. And since a lot of the trolls don't follow me, so then they can't, you know, it's harder for them to figure out where I'm at if they, you know, they have to keep scrolling through other to find my live. It's funny how it works. Yeah, it's so salty. Yeah, sorry, I had to abruptly in the live one golden Nubian there. I was the battery ran out on my first phone here, so we switched to the second phone. I'll use this phone more often. It works better in the daylight. It has a little chip in there. It causes a lens flare for the Christmas lights. That's why I use this phone. I guess I could get the camera replaced, but I'm just too lazy to do it. Hey, one Chi-Town Busta. That's good there, Margie. Good strategy. Yeah, one golden Nubian, Margie. Thanks. That's good. So here, yeah, we'll head up Michigan Avenue. We'll just see if there's any steam on the... Hey, he's changing the clothes there. That's good. And there's the dogs. Yeah, 6 degrees here. Few dogs here on Michigan Avenue. We're back. Lamby T, thanks for coming back. Yeah, I had to switch phones there. My battery. The cold weather really does a number on the battery. It really runs the battery. Jody G notices it. Ernesto notices it when we're out in the cold. Ernie has a good backup battery, which is how you get up doing a 3-hour live stream. You would need to do that anyway. Jack Smith in Congress Thursday. Yeah, we'll look for that. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, there's a lot of things are starting to speed up here. A lot of things are starting to go in motion. Jack Smith, of course, the prosecutor that the Trump administration's attacking because he was prosecuting them. These retaliatory investigations, we know what's going on. They really think they could fool the entire American public. Didn't they learn anything from Watergate? The more you cover up, eventually it'll come out. And yeah, you might be out of power there, but your legacy will be tarnished, you know. You want to have your legacy lying to the American people. Here's Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Thanks for tuning in here. We're almost down to the Chicago River. Walking to work, it's pretty cold. And I just want to see if the river's steaming, and then we'll just head to work. Gotta go to work, what a bummer. But actually now I'm looking forward to it because I want to get in the warm weather, or the warm temperature, not the warm weather. Look outside, get a warm cup of coffee. Yeah, we'll head across here. So the Tribune Tower, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, good morning, Scott. The illegal appointment. Yeah, Jessica, how you doing? Yeah, Brant. So here's the Nathaniel Hale sculpture. Look at the nice view of the Venice skyscrapers. Here's the Tribune, one of the Tribune Tower entrances. Look at that, this is for the annex. Here's the actual tower here. They converted it to housing. Gothic revival style. Look at this steam coming out of these vintage skyscrapers at the Jewelers Building on the right there with the dome. Used to be the Stratosphere Club here. See the Mather Tower, the 333 North Michigan, the London House. All these vintage skyscrapers. You used to be able to see straight to the Carbide and Carbon, but they built that residential building. I'm going to my job. Isn't that funny? Here I am going to my job. I work for an architecture engineering firm, and people will taunt me that I'm unemployed. You know, does that work? You just like stereotype everybody you meet. How does that working for you? You know, I could have offered you a job, and now I know who you are and how you think. This is how you win friends and influence people. You've been taught if you insult people, they'll elect you to positions of power. They'll let you insult them more. Yeah, we're all being conditioned to think that way, I know. You like the abuse. Here's, hey, look at the nice skyline here. Chicago, Illinois. Michigan Avenue. Thanks for tuning in. 6 degrees, negative 10 to 15 Celsius. A beautiful day. Saw the sunrise. Yeah, here's the Wrigley building. There's a tower behind it. I don't know what the name of it is. I can't think of it. I wish they put the name on it or something so we could figure it out. Here's the Apple store. Yeah, get some coffee. Yeah, UK, how you doing there? Robert. Yeah. Yeah, you're not a decision maker either, JD. Unless your name's JD Vance, and even he's not a decision maker. He's a butt kisser. Here's, hey, look at that. There's the Wrigley building, the Trump Tower. Here's, here's Jean-Baptiste Point de Sable. There, Jean-Baptiste Point de Sable. Here's St. Regis. There's Joliet Marquette. Native Americans, indigenous people. I don't know who the winged woman is. Looking west. Manifest Destiny. Donroe Doctrine. The Donroe Doctrine. Must be what it is. There's the Donroe building right there. In Chicago, here across Michigan Avenue. Sable, Michigan Bridge. Yeah, the steam's coming off the Chicago River, but not that much. Just a little steam. Not too bad. Yeah, Ernie caught this. 7:53. So we got a little steam coming off the Chicago River. It's not too bad. We'll head to work here. No job for you. No soup for you. No soup for you. Be like the Seinfeld episode. Take that. I will taunt you a second time. What are the French doing in England? Mind your own business. We will taunt you a second time. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thanks for checking out the views here, yeah. There's the Marina Towers, Corn Cob buildings. Spin around, we'll get the nice view of the Wrigley and the Tribune Tower with the steam coming off the Chicago River. There it is. So hey, look at the Wrigley building, the Tribune Tower. Yeah, let's go down there. Let's go down there. I'm just gonna walk 1 block. There's a triangle here, so we'll catch the steam coming off the Chicago River. They really salted these steps. I thank whoever did this, because these steps are free and clear of ice here. We'll head down to the Chicago Riverwalk. We got January the 20th, 2026 here. 6 degrees. Here's Lower Wacker Drive. And you ever see the Blues Brothers, Transformers, Batman movies? They film stuff down here. The Untouchables. Here's the Chicago Riverwalk. We're going to see the steam coming off the river. Ernie filmed it better yesterday. It was colder yesterday morning, but it's still cold enough. Barely the steam's coming off, so this doesn't happen that often. So let's film it while I'm here. Yeah, stay in the sunny South Florida. I hear the South Florida is doing fine. Northern Florida, like the Panhandle and up by Jacksonville, there was iguanas dropping out of the trees. It got down to 30 some degrees, right? It was almost below freezing in some areas of Florida, but yeah, it's much colder here. Yeah, I'd much rather be in Florida right now too. I'm right there with you. So here's Michigan DuSable Bridge. There's the Tribune Tower. Let's see if we see the steam coming off the. It'll be easier to see once we get on the other side of the bridge here, and I'll get you some images of it. There it is. So there's the steam coming off the Chicago River. So hey, see, we're underneath the. Hold on a second here. My gimbal's acting. Look at that. So here we're underneath the DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. We got what's the January the 20th, 2026. There's steam coming off the Chicago River. 6 degrees Fahrenheit, 6 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 to 15 Celsius. So the water is probably 33 degrees, just above freezing, and the air temperature is about 30 degrees cooler than the water temperature, roughly, Fahrenheit. And so the heat energy is escaping in the form of steam, just like your cup of coffee, and it causes steam that rides off the river. Here's the Trump Tower, second tallest building in Chicago. Here's the Wrigley Tower, one of the most iconic, well-recognized buildings in Chicago. There it is. There's the steam coming off the river. We're down here on the Chicago Riverwalk. Yeah, I watched some of the Scholars Championship. I was falling asleep through some of it, and I rooted for Indiana. I'm glad Indiana won 27-21. What a great game. Congratulations to the Indiana Hoosiers. I hope you saw it, Scott. Yeah, what a great game. Beat the Miami Hurricanes. Congratulations, 16-0, undefeated season. Very hard to do for any college team. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, stop the war. Stop the war. We don't need your civil war. But here, look at the steam coming off the Chicago River. Here we got January the 20th, 2026. There you can clearly see it under the Marina Towers. There's the steam coming off the Chicago River. So we'll film this steam here. There's the steam coming off the Chicago River. Smoke on the water. It's dry ice. Dun, 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 dun. Who knows that song? Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. Yeah, we don't need your civil war. Feeds the rich while it buries the poor. Quoting Guns N' Roses, that's what it's come to. Here's, yeah, look at the steam coming off the Chicago River. Yeah, look at it over there. Get the Wrigley Tribune there. Yeah, deep purple. Deep purple. No, you're right. That is deep purple. You're right. It's not Steppenwolf. You got me. See, it's too early in the morning. It's deep purple. That's deep purple. Thank you. See, now I'm confusing myself. So Steppenwolf did Born to Be Wild. Okay, so Steppenwolf, I'm thinking of the Easy Rider. And then Smoke on the Water was Deep Purple. You are correct. Dun, 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 dun. It shows you how my brain leaks. I confuse those two bands, and people often do. Here's look at the steam. Look at the steam coming off the Chicago River here. We got January the 20th, 2026. We got 7:59 the AM. I'm about to head to work here. And we walked along the lakefront. We saw the sunrise. And now we're seeing the steam coming off the Chicago River. And then we're going to head to work here. So, hey, thanks for checking it out. You can really see it here. Look at that. Yeah, they put green dye here in the St. Patrick's Day. So we got that coming, you know. We're less than 2 months away from them dyeing the river green for St. Patrick's Day. It's the middle of March. And yeah, we'll be much talking about that moving forward here. We're still in winter time. We're still January the 20th, 2026. There's the Marina Towers there, the corn cob buildings. This corn, big lump with knobs. Look at the steam coming off the Chicago River. 6 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 10 to 20 Celsius. So I'm doing the Deep Purple song. I got it right the second time there. Dun, 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 dun. Smoke on the Water. Steam coming off the liquid water, trying to freeze and turn into ice, just like your cup of coffee there. Look at the steam. Look, you can really see it there. Look at the steam in front of the Trump Tower. There's your steam on the Chicago River for January the 20th, 2026. We got a polar plunge coming up this Saturday, January the 25th, so we'll give you more information about that. I assume it's noon. I don't know what time they're going to do it. It's going to be at Oak Street Beach. There's going to be a second polar plunge later in March. There's the seagulls. There's seagulls. There's seagulls in January in Chicago. That is weird. So when it's 6 degrees, what are the seagulls doing? But here, we'll head up these steps. So I'm going to head to work. I'm going to sign off once we get to the top here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you have a good Monday. Let me hold on to the railing here. But here's the steam. Here's the steam coming off the Chicago River. 6 degrees. Pretty interesting. Thanks for checking it out. Just like the steam coming out of my mouth. Yeah, have a good work day, everybody. Have a good rest of your Tuesday. And yeah, look at this steam coming off the Chicago River. You can really see it there. Look at that. Marina Towers. Stay warm. We'll see you at lunchtime. We'll probably just check out the ice skating. We haven't been to the Bean. It's ain't got snow on the top of it. Ernie checked it out. Hey, we'll leave you with the Haim Solomon and Robert Morris and George Washington, this haunting statue. And it's got the engraving of the Statue of Liberty on the back. The huddled masses yearning to be free. Yeah, right. There's Vietnam Veterans Memorial here, Chicago, Illinois. And there's the 17th Church of Christ Scientists. There it is. Robert Morris, George Washington, Haim Solomon. Thanks for coming back for the second live here. The first one, battery is at my phone there. So we're waiting across the street here. Here's the Wabash. Oh man, they just missed hitting each other. That was so really close. Okay, I'm cold, so I'm going to sign off. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you at lunchtime. Have a great day here from Chicago. Appreciate it. Thanks, mods. Thanks everybody for the gifts. And we'll see you later today. Appreciate it. You can check out the rerun there, Brian Really Chicago, the live tab, YouTube, TikTok. Have a great day. Yeah, the Statue of Liberty sitting. It was weird. It's a weird sculpture. Okay, we'll talk to you later.